Hello there again, Star Wars fans. We're back at it here at the Darth Brew, giving you a review and some takes on the most recent episode of Ahsoka, Episode 7. So let's not waste any time and jump right into it. We start off with Hera on trial for taking her mission on Cetos when she was very explicitly told not to, but loyalty. We get a fun cameo of C-3PO and a mention of Leia Organa, whom 3PO is there on her behalf. This was a great nod to some legacy characters, and I very much appreciated it. Also, Xiono is a major bantha poodoo head, if I do say so myself. Now, we see Ahsoka training in her ship while an old recording of Anakin is playing. Apparently, it's the last of about 20 or more, and most of the lines from this hologram were teased in a trailer before the show actually aired. Now, this got us excited about seeing Anakin again, and boy was I. Some people may call this fan service. I say, serve me up, baby, because I'm a fan and I like Star Wars, and this is Star Wars. Also, he was her master, so he very much had an impact on her life, so it makes sense for him to be in this show. More on that later. Now, Thrawn gets notice of Ahsoka's master and realizes that it was Anakin. The moment he found out this information, he had pause because he knew the level of threat he was dealing with here, and that gave me chills because a Skywalker, or even a Padawan of a Skywalker for that matter, is nothing to take lightly. Of course, Thrawn is no chump himself, and he has a plan, or many plans actually, and we see some of those plans unfold in this episode. He anticipates her being unpredictable, just as General Annie was, and I think that's smart of him to do. See, Huyang and Ahsoka make their way into the new galaxy, but are quickly met with a disruption due to the minefield that Thrawn planted there, because he anticipated their arrival. At first, I was worried that the Purrgil would end up as casualties of war, and I'm real glad that that didn't happen. And they dipped out before they could sustain any major injuries anyway, so good for them. But now the question is, how the heck are they going to get back? I mean, I have a couple of ideas, but it's hard to know for sure. They may not make it back by the end of the season. So then Ahsoka gets into a dogfight with some fighters from the Eye of Sion, and this scene was very reminiscent of prequel era dogfight scenes. Loved it, almost felt like a ride at Disneyland, which makes me think they should really include some Mando and Ahsoka era scenes into Star Tours. That would be really cool and a lot of fun, I think. Anyway, she pulls an Obi-Wan move where she hides herself in the debris on the ring around Peridea and camps out there for a bit. Baylan and Shin part ways once they come across Ezra and Sabine, and he gives her one last lesson, which is to be patient for victory. And they go about chasing the sun and the moon respectively, just as they're supposed to. But I want to talk more about that later. Sabine and Ezra catch up a bit, and I gotta say it's good to see the Ghost crew finding their way back together. And then Ahsoka reaches out to Sabine through the Force and locates her. And I think that's interesting because Sabine can receive things in the Force, but she can't create anything herself. I'm still wondering if that payoff is coming, or is this literally them telling us she don't got it? I'm sure the finale will answer this question, but I have a feeling she's got some baggage of her own she needs to deal with before she can use it. Or maybe they'll call back to something that they mentioned earlier this season where she thinks she can tap into the Force during a time of crisis. Now, Ahsoka is found by the Night Sisters by literally triangulating her location, which was kind of funny. And once she was found, they bombed her, but she evaded that attack and eventually found herself in front of Baylan once again. Now, this saber fight was different. It was more fast-paced, and Ahsoka seemed more confident this time around. She also used both sabers as opposed to just the one from the last time they fought. She was clearly more focused on helping Ezra and Sabine than she was trying to defeat Baylan. And Baylan tells her, "You can't defeat me," into which she replies with, "Perhaps," but she didn't need to because that wasn't her goal. So then, after some shots were fired from the aerial battle, they set off on their own paths, but Baylan seemed a bit conflicted. He takes a second to look back, and then He keeps moving forward to whatever is calling to him. And it has to be so strong because for him to leave Shin in battle when he knew she would be in trouble, I think that says a lot. Then Ezra and Sabine get into a little tussle with some night troopers, and we see Space Moses, I mean Ezra, use some cool force judo to fight them while Sabine slices up some troops. All that stuff was cool, and we get a little family reunion. It was cool to see Ahsoka and Ezra reunite again. I really like that. So a decent ending for me. But now let's get back to Baylan, because I am on the edge of my seat to find out about what he is looking for. And I hope it's the Abeloth, because if it is, then I think this will complete the Mortis arc. Being that this could be the host planet of the Mother. We just saw Anakin, possibly as the father, who guided Ahsoka to keep fighting to pursue her mission, which happens to be here on Peridia. And the daughter lives within Ahsoka. All that to say, if Baylan's skull represents the wolf that is chasing the sun, maybe that is a clue to represent that he's chasing the S-O-N son, not the S-U-N son. Now, if we get the mother, the son, the daughter, and if we get another Anakin appearance in the finale, we would have the father all there on Peridia at one time. The whole family of the ones. This would be epic and could further the Mortis storyline, which would give us insight on the cosmic force and how it works. I think this is really it. We may get all those questions answered in the next episode, and I can't wait. Because it seems like Thrawn is about to leave Peridia, and I don't think Ahsoka is going to make it out. I think Ezra and Sabine might, but I think Ahsoka is going to be staying here for a while. Now, this would be awesome, but would also suck at the same time because we won't find out what happens for them for about another year or two since the strikes delayed productions. Of course, it's over now, which is great, but that still means that we will be in a bit of a dry spell when it comes to Star Wars content. I can't wait for that Filoni movie though, because I imagine it will be an endgame level ending to the Filoniverse shows that's in this post Return of the Jedi, pre-Force Awakens era. Now, I think we may get some other appearances in the finale. Maybe with Luke Skywalker, perhaps he's getting a heads up from Leia that Thrawn is back. Maybe we even see this while he's training younglings in the new school of his, one of which could be Ben Solo. Or maybe we get a Kanan Jarrus cameo, who appears to Ezra to finally get Ghost Crew back together one last time. Now, I don't know that either of those will happen. It would be sickety as it did, but if not, I hope this finale is a banger because it's going to be a while until we get to continue this story. Now, hold on tight, Star Wars fans, because this is it for a while, so let's really enjoy it. Savor it. Now, with that said, I am super excited for episode 8. I can't wait, and I'll see you all in the next video, but until then, I'm out.